In this video, we're going to touch on project settings. I said in an earlier video that there's a way to affect gravity for all objects, and that's where project settings comes in. Project settings is almost like the command center of the entire software, controlling almost every aspect of the game. It holds the inner workings of physics, 2D physics, frame rate, graphics, control settings, which is actually called input, and many others. But in this video, we're obviously just going to touch on physics 2D. You can find the project settings by going to Edit, Project Settings, Physics 2D. Now the project settings interface may look intimidating, but don't worry, we'll be editing the gravity and the layer matrix. But briefly, all the other controls basically allow you to edit how much of each individual option in the rigid bodies do you really want to impact. You may have noticed in gravity that it uses negatives instead of positives, almost like real gravity where it's pushing down on us. For fun, let's make it positive. Press play. As you can see, the cube stays on the ground while the player flies up. Edit the cube's gravity scale to make it move up with the player.
And it goes up. Now exit play mode.
Once you're done, set the gravity back to negative 9.81. The layer matrix is the de facto say on what objects collide and affect with each other. If checked off, the objects pertaining to the layers will pass through each other. We can make new layers if we so wanted to, only up to 32 layers, 8 of which we cannot edit. We can get to this menu by selecting a game object. In this case, it's going to be the player. Go to the top of the inspector window, click on Layer. Scroll down to the Add Layer option. In user layer 8, we're going to type in player. Go back to the hierarchy, select player. Go back to the layer option and select the new layer we just created. Go back to project settings. And turn off the top left box or default/player in the matrix. Press play, and the player should fall down, never colliding with the ground, which is on the default layer. This concludes the module. In this module, we covered the multiple ways we can use game objects with rigid body 2Ds attached to add gameplay variety, and we covered the inner workings on how Unity handles 2D physics, along with the layer collision matrix in the system settings. Continue to experiment if you need to. Once you feel comfortable, we're going to be covering a separate type of colliders called joints.